Man, in the words of Flavor Flav, yeah, boy, back in the house again with your one and only the main man in them, Coach Tony. And obviously, you are tuned in to what? The Pull Up Podcast Show. Again, man, it's been a crazy week of sports. We're going to get you caught up because what we do, we always give you quarter by quarter of sports information and more. And again, riding sidekick with me tonight, my girl, the one and only Val, the voice. So we're going to make sure we bring it to you. But tonight, we're going to make sure we do a couple things. You guys have been great over the last few weeks of making sure you put your comments in. I want to hear your feelings and your thoughts tonight. We're going to talk college football playoff. We're going to talk NFL picture. We're going to talk a few different things. So make sure you get your questions heard tonight. I'm looking forward to that. But as a cleanup note, do a couple of things for me. 1, like the show. 2, share it with your friends and make sure they share the show because they got to come on with your boy, Coach Tony. You got to. And the third thing is what? Subscribe to the show. Like my boy just pulled up in the parking lot, as we say, on 111th Street, Morgan Park in the house. My boy Gary, great, pulling up. Like, what's up, Tone? We in the house tonight. AG, you got to give me the night we're going to do the house music, Gary. You got to pull up that night, too, because house music, that show's coming pretty soon, early in 2026, I guarantee you. But before we jump in the show, you know what we're going to do, Val. Drop it.
Hey, I'm Coach Tony, and this is the Pull Up Podcast Show. For every Monday, we break down the game quarter by quarter and give you information as well as break down the coach. Join us on the Pull Up Podcast Show.
Pull up. It's the pull. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Val's the voice and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast show. I said Val's the voice and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.
Man, that's what we tell them. Val's the voice, Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast Show. I said, Kev, Mr. Engineer, Val, this your one you hear? Okay. Coach Tony got the sports show, it's the Pull Up Podcast Show. Welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show. Make sure you drop your information. Tonight, we're going to, like I said, jump in. If you guys were couch potatoes this weekend like myself, you knew you were watching. You were tuned in. There was a lot of games. There was, of course, a lot of promotional purposes only that was going on. And if you listened to me last week, I actually went 3 out of 4. So I was pretty decent. I went 75%. We're going to talk about them picks. And then I'm going to give you some more. But right now, let's bring my sidekick on right now. Val, the voice. Johnson, welcome to the show. Oh, we got to get Val here. Got to make sure she's straight. She probably sitting back there putting some makeup on and some powder. You know how she got to get fashionably late to jump on the show and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there she is. What's up, Val?
I'm pushing buttons, bro. That's what happens. I'm pushing buttons.
It happens. Hey, y'all don't know. We live up in this joint. You know what I'm saying? We got. And when we finish pushing these buttons, we're going to get them brooms out. We got to mop the floor in the back and sweep before we get out of here tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what we do.
Man, Coach, how are you doing?
Man, I'm wonderful. How was your weekend?
Weekend was easy breezy. Very happy to share that I am excited. It's the holidays, so happy holidays to everyone out there. And got a chance to do a little singing, at church. Do some holiday cheer and some Silent Night. Not the Temptations version, just the regular, gospel version.
You ain't break that version down.
Something like that. Right. And then, of course, preparation for the week because Thursday is the big day. You got any plans, Coach?
I bet not catch Santa Claus coming down my chimney.
Is there any you think he's gonna either come with gifts or for a break-in? I don't know.
Well, if he come with gifts, me and him may be able to have a conversation. But he come to break up in the joint, then we're gonna have problems. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No
We don't
cookies
want
and milk either. You ever try to leave Santa Claus cookies and you end up eating the cookies? And
Yeah,
then
because
milk spoil.
yeah, well, my father, I think, broke the news to me either at 7 or 8. He was like, "I am Claus."
Right.
I was like,
And
"All right,
if you don't listen to him, I'm gonna put these claws on you.
get your little narrow behind and get to bed. Don't be sneaking looking at what you think
Right.
you got." So
Right.
yeah,
That's funny.
so
Hey,
I'm excited, and I have to say this. I know we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but you see what colors I got on.
man, I see rapping. Hey, you see, you need this to go with. You know what I'm saying? You need the
Well, I
best.
gotta go get me a hat. I'm pricing jerseys out right now because they're not cheap because everything is everything. So
But I know you're
I'm
gonna get it if you get one.
like,
I like that infamous 34 you be wearing, that Peyton. But I know you need
yeah,
to come to I know you need to come to the day's time and get a new player some respect. I'm a big Caleb Williams fan right now. We're gonna talk about him, as we jump into everything. But let's jump into this college football picture. Oh my goodness. This was a weekend not to forget. And then the crazy part about it was, Val, I kind of talked about it last week. The loss that I did have was the Texas A&M because I was biased. I love Marcel Reed, Tennessee State's head coach. We're going to start there with Miami playing Texas A&M. They had the early game of the day, and it was really a slow game, but it wasn't what I call a slow game, as it more was a defensive game. It went all the way down to the last second of the game, and it was a 3-3 game going into like 6 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. I'm like, wow. And people are like, that's it. But I hate when people look at that, Val. Are you the type of person when you watch games, are you wanting teams to put up a lot of points? Are you looking for a low-scoring defensive type game?
I'm looking for a battle. Like I want to see a tug of war because if there's a game where the team runs away and they've scored like 5 or 6 touchdowns and the other team has barely done a field goal or maybe one touchdown, I tend to kind of go, okay. And if I'm not vetted in the players or the team or the story, then I'm gonna just be not that interested. So it's great when it's back and forth where it's just
See, I'm of the difference. I guess I got the old school, and I know a lot of my boys like that too. I'm of that old school. I like it like it was this weekend. To me, when it's low scoring, that way the defense is playing. Ain't nobody scoring. The defense taking points off the board. It's a tug of war. They going back and forth. It's a struggle. When you got a high scoring game, in my personal opinion, like you got the excitement. The fans are loving it. But at that point, it's kind of like, who don't play defense in the back because the next lone bomb is going to score the winning touchdown. When you got that 3-3 game, that 6-6 game, that 7-7 game, that means that defense is locking up, and it comes down to one mistake. And we all know, as well as I love Marcel Reed, he threw that one mistake at the end of the game with about 9 seconds to go in the ball game. So this game came down to the last 9 or 10 seconds in the game, and unfortunately, he threw a pick off in the end zone, and Miami picked the ball off, and it was wrapped. That was it, ball game. And the number 10 seed, the underdog in the U, move on to the next round. And what I like about this time of the year, Val, basketball and football, it's all about what? Survive and advance. That's all you got to do.
Survive and advance. And I think it's a matter of the players just kind of being able to communicate with their coach, and then the coach kind of being able to communicate with them, and just to keep doing those plays. Because in my mind, I'm thinking if it all comes down to the last 30 or 40 seconds of the game, you could be doing well. But if you don't score, or if it's tied or something happens, it's whatever that drive is toward the end of the game that matters. And I feel like everybody needs to be like on one vibe to catch it, make sure things happen.
Yeah, and the crazy part about, like you was talking about, the one vibe, it's got to be a defensive type game. The coaches talked about that at halftime. They were Leslie Vessel had asked, you're going in at halftime. It's a 3-3 ball game. What's going on. But the crazy part about it, that game, Val, was the field goal kicking was atrocious. I don't know if you got a chance to see it. I mean, I've never seen so many field goals missed. If Miami's field goal kicker makes his field goal, they had like 3 or 4 attempts in the first and second quarter. Then the ball game's like 9-0. It's a different ball game. Texas A&M got to approach it in a different way. But he missed. Texas A&M has no kicker. So they were basically swapping out kickers every other field goal attempt, and it's very difficult. And if you got a kicking fiasco like that, and your next game against my homeboys, against these Buckeyes, struggle. And Gary says, it reminded me of the Bears game with the last minute. Exactly. We're going to get to that, Gary, so hold that. We're going to talk NFL a little bit later. But with these college kids, the big difference is, even though they making the money, Val, they not making that NFL money, right? They're not getting that they're not getting that fame yet and all that. And I don't know if you got an opportunity to see the Miami and Texas A&M game. I thought it was a really, really good game. It was very defensive, like you mentioned a moment ago. They didn't get an opportunity to put a lot of points on the board, but at the end of the game, again, I saw your boy Michael Irvin from the Cowboys on the sideline doing his U dance. So they move on, like I said, survive and advance. And now they got to take on my guys, my boys, the Ohio State Buckeyes next week. Now,
I'm looking at that score. Yeah, I'm looking at that score. It was 10-3, right?
That was a low score. But again, defense. Now, to the stuff that you like, as you mentioned, you like these high-scoring games and all that. This Alabama-Oklahoma, I thought was a very good game because of one reason, and that is Bama get an opportunity to overcome a loss that they got beat early just a few weeks ago when Oklahoma beat them. So to get an opportunity to do that and recapture that loss, but this was at a loss that was more important because now it takes me deep into the playoff with an opportunity to win a national championship game. What you think about that game?
Yeah, and I think that one, there was more of a battle happening with that, and it looked as though at the very beginning that Oklahoma was going to keep the lead, but Alabama could not be stopped.
Oh, they when I say couldn't be, Laney, well, hey, I got my basketball team checking in the house tonight from Nashville. Laney, I got to call out like that. Val's my girl, play on my team. Oh, okay. She's so into Coach, and I love her to death because, you talking about influential. This is one of my players, Val, that kind of made me very sentimental. She came to me this year and was like, Coach, I'm in between playing volleyball and basketball. And I'm like, something, I can't tell you which one to pick, but what I can say, being a little arrogant, is that if you play basketball, I'm going to teach you everything that I know. And I know for a fact that I'm going to be the best coach you ever had. And the other day, they did a little overnight stay, and they all kind of dressed up as their favorite person. She dressed up as Coach T, Val. You know what I'm saying? She had the Chi-Town, the Bulls here.
Oh, yeah, that's so sweet.
I'm always in the cardigan swag, so she had a little cardigan on, so it was all good. So, Lainey, I appreciate you on that.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So, yeah, so if I'm looking at this correctly, and the score between Alabama and Oklahoma, 34-24.
34-24. That's your type of game. You like to put them points up. You know what I'm saying? It was it was one of those games. But you know what made it's got to make Oklahoma mad about this game, Val?
This knocks them out?
Well, I'm talking about besides that, yeah, this is win or go home. When you get to this stage, they were up 17-0 at halftime.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was a run. If they held it, they would have gone ahead and won. And then I'm like, it matters. And this is what I'm noticing, even with college as well as the the pros. It's like the wake up happens. Some kind of fire gets put under the butts of the players during the halftime. And it's like, we got to turn this around or we're going home. And I know Alabama probably got that prep.
Hey, speaking of that prep, we're going to prep this commercial out of this first quarter. We're going to come right back to finish up with this Alabama-Oklahoma, continue to talk about some college football. But Val, pay them bills, girl, but we be sitting on the back porch, and you know it's wintertime right now.
Don't want to do that. Here we go.
Hey, it's your main man, right back at you, coming live here from the Rise Studios. And it's your guy talking about what? Pull Up Podcast Show. What is the Pull Up Podcast Show? It's a brand new podcast hitting your airways nationwide, talking everything on sports, from baseball, basketball, hockey, and then I tell you, we're going to have a lot of fun. So make sure, if you want your questions answered, you want to have fun talking a lot of sports, make sure you pull up on me, because it's the Pull Up Podcast Show.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up.
Also, for those that want to learn a little bit more about this right here, oh yeah, that right there, that's the Rise, NIL, talking name, image, and likeness. Those having opportunities to get paid, you want to tune in to it.
Sports show, let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Let's.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, giving you quarter by quarter sports information with my sidekick, ride with me, ride or die, Val, the voice, Johnson. We talking about this college football playoff. Now, back to the Oklahoma-Alabama game. It's a crazy, you know how Val, they always say it's always a tell of two stories, right?
Very
and the
much
first
so,
story,
yep.
17-zip Oklahoma. The tell of the second story was Alabama outscored these boys 34-7 in the second half. 34-7 in the second half. Ty Simpson locked down, threw for like 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. And, you know, he was potentially up for Heisman Trophy conversation early in the year, but I thought that was very worthy of Bama, and they survive and they move on.
Yeah, and that's exciting. What's going to happen now? I'm excited, and Coach gave me a whole breakdown of the bowl situation. So now, and when we're talking about all of these wonderful college teams, who is now going to be in which bowls? We'll get to that in a second, but I'm just excited to let you guys know that Alabama, number 9, is going to be advancing. And who are they going to be playing, Coach?
Bama's next game right now, I think who they match up against. I think they match up against Georgia. Whoo! Okay. So we got an SEC foe right now. So that's not going to be easy for them. And I'll know better when you put the bracket up, but I'm almost positive I think they match up against Georgia, which is going to be kind of incredible. And Miami gets to move on. They're going to take Ohio State. Now, here's the argument, and I know everybody's waiting to hear it, and I'm with you. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Still got me a little bit mad. Oregon, I love Oregon. Big Ten, they played JMU, which is James Madison, and then Ole Miss played Tulane. To me, that not really they was 2 useless games, but they were 2 useless games. And this was the reason why that Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame bitched and moaned and groaned about why they should have been in the playoff, and they should have been in the playoff for this very reason. And this, again, the knock against the CFP committee, and you've got to do a better job. You've got to get like the NCAA basketball, which is the most bet sport in history of any sports in a 6 weeks time period. And until football, college that is, gets up to 16 team, Val, you're going to continue to hear this, because there's no way in the world that, like basketball, that we don't see a team from the SWAC. We don't see a team from the MEAC. We should have at least 1 or 2 black colleges represented. Some of the other ones out there as well, the top 16 teams. So when they can figure this piece out, then college football, in my personal opinion, for the playoffs would be better. Now, everybody always say, well, Coach, if you move to 16, how are you going to do that? Very easy. You got a Power 4, right?
Okay.
The Big
Okay.
10, the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12. They all get 2 apiece. Not 3, not 4. The best 2 teams in that division,
Top 2.
whether it be the 2 teams that go to the conference championship game or the top teams that's ranked in the top 8, they only get 2. Everyone else, unfortunately, I'm sorry, you get knocked out. Then the other 8 teams, Val, come from the other 8 conferences, including you give the HBCU 2 automatics in. They'll get the 15th and 16th seeds. So they automatically get the bottom until they can work themselves up. And if it had been the last couple of years, it would have been Grambling. It would have been my cousin Derek's school, Deion Sanders' ex-school, Jackson State, right? They've been able to make that playoff. Morgan State, MU, and those guys in the MEAC. This is what college football has got to do, in my personal opinion, to survive down. If not, they're going to continue to get beat up year after year after year about it being fair.
Yeah. And I guess until those changes happen, this is where we are. And Gary's asking, so who do you think stole a playoff spot this year?
Oh,
great question.
That's easy, Garrett. So I'm glad that's a great question, because I just debated this yesterday. You can look at one or two things. Both games was a blowout. The Oregon JMU was the worst blowout, and Ole Miss was a blowout, right? So I would say out of those 2 schools, I think JMU and Tulane, but I would say more like Tulane, because JMU in a higher conference would have been ranked higher to go and play that game. I think that Notre Dame and Vanderbilt would have been better. So I think you replace JMU and you replace Tulane with Notre Dame and with Vanderbilt, which would have been the number 12th and 13th seed teams. And Gary, once you would have done that, completely different game, because Tulane would have been Vandy. So Ole Miss would have had to play Vanderbilt again, and Pavia wasn't going to get blown out like that, and Vandy was going to play ball. And Oregon would have had a hell of a game against Notre Dame. It was not going to be a blowout game. That would have been a close game. So then, to me, as they say, Val, each and every year, we're supposed to quasi pick the top best team to be in the playoffs. I just think the committee missed it this year. I just really did.
Yeah. Well, I think they'll get it right, but more people will have to speak up about it and make sure that their team is represented and gets a playoff spot, because brings so much money to the university and colleges that is represented when their college team makes it. This is a big deal, you know?
Billion. We're talking about billion, not million, but billion. Put the bracket up, Val, of the next round. As you go to put that bracket up, we're going to break that bracket down. So you're now, for promotional purposes only, as Val puts that up. So last weekend, I went 3 out of 4. The game that I did lose was the Texas A&M game. I lost that. I thought Texas A&M would win over the U. So shout out to my Miami fans and foes down there. I was wrong on that. But I think I'll bounce back this week. I think I'm probably going to go 4 for 4 and for this particular weekend. So you got the top seeds, and not this weekend, I apologize, but New Year's Eve weekend when the Bulls come back. They get 2 weeks to practice and rest. And this is another thing, Val, I not. When we were kids, the national championship game was always on what day? January the 1st. Always.
First, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Always. You live for that. Now, football has spread out. The NFL is going into like the end of January, and now college football is damn near the AFC NFC championship game is the same weekend the college football national championship. It's like crazy. It's like NFL that Sunday, and college football is that Monday night. And then you got the Super Bowl coming up. So I think that if we could get back, and again, this goes back to my earlier argument, go back to a Sweet 16 style, and nobody gets off, right? The season ends, and then you go right into this bracket that you see. So instead of giving the top 4 a weekend off, that first round will be 16 games. 16 teams, 8 games. And then the next weekend, Then you take off this week for Christmas, and then the national championship game is on that New Year's Eve. I would love to see the NCAA get back to something like that, and I think it'll be really, really a good situation.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm taking a look at this. I grabbed this from CBS Sports, but yeah. So now, who's going into what? We got Oregon against Texas Tech.
So you got the Big Ten will be playing against Texas Tech, and in this game, for promotional purposes only, listen to me. I think the Oregon Ducks has got a chance to knock Texas Tech off. I like Texas Tech. I think they played okay, but I just don't think they played the type of schedule that Oregon has played. Oregon's got Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Indiana, all in the same conference this year, and I think they're battle tested. And I think for this first game, for promotional purposes, Oregon upsets Texas Tech to move on to the quarterfinals.
Oh, because they're seed number 5 and Texas Tech is number 4. So
Right.
and I'm assuming it's the is it their offensive lineman, or is it their the offense? Is there the defensive lineman that's going to make
No,
the
Oregon's
difference?
gonna make a difference on offense. Oregon puts up points. They the Ducks, man. They quack, half flag.
Quack, 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 quack.
Half flag. You know, so they got that half flag. They got that half flag. They can put up some points. Now,
Oh my gosh, Alabama and Indiana. Who
my
you got?
family gonna put me out the state. They love me, but I tell them all the time, they always say, if it ain't Big Ten, it's SEC, Bama. And unfortunately, it's SEC versus the Big Ten. And Bama go home. Oh, Auntie, I love y'all. I still gonna come visit you, but Bama got to go home. Indiana gonna run them out the house. I don't think if Alabama, I don't think they're ready. I think Ty Simpson gonna feel this heat. I think that they go home, and you have got a quarterfinal matchup with Indiana versus Oregon up top in that game next week.
Okay, so Alabama is seed number 9 and number 1 pick Indiana.
9
So
versus
they're
number
going
one.
to
I think the
continue.
number 1 seed moves on in Indiana, and then Oregon is the other seed that moves on, and Indiana and Oregon will play to go to the national championship game in that bracket.
All right, so now we're looking at Ole Miss and Georgia, and I found out that the bowl that's happening in Atlanta is sold out.
Hey, how the song go, Val? Georgia, Georgia,
Georgia.
oh my, my.
You try to do
Hey.
Ray Charles, you cracking me up.
Ray, tell him, baby. Hey, man, what you said? Georgia Bulldogs stamps on this one. I like Ole Miss. They got a hell of a quarterback. We'll be playing pro ball. I like what they did. I love that they bounced back after that BS Lane Kiffin situation. Hated that they had to take a penalty, because without that penalty, I think you don't have Alabama in. Ole Miss get a higher ranking than what they would have done, but they had to take a penalty because their coach left them, Val, and moved on to another team.
Really?
Yeah, and that's the rule.
Wow.
So
Why did he leave? Why did the coach leave?
Hey,
Did he
Mo
give a
Pay,
reason?
yeah, I'm all about the Benjamins, baby. P. Diddy told you.
So I got it right there. I guess it'll be the coach's pick is Georgia. Georgia is number 3 and Ole Miss is number 6. So you're going with, sounds like you're going with the folks that have kept their rankings all season.
Except
about
for
right.
Oregon. I think Oregon upsets Texas Tech, as I said.
Okay.
I think Indiana keeps the ship rolling forward. Georgia Bulldogs keeps this. I like Ole Miss. I just don't think they can knock off Georgia. I think Georgia's solid. They're going to become with the defense. They're going to punch in the mouth. They're going to continue punching in the mouth. And I think the Bulldogs won't. And then obviously, I love Miami, but y'all got to make it on back south, baby. I love what y'all trying to do, but y'all got to come back from this bowl game. Got to go on back to Florida, man. The Buckeyes, they pissed off, and they've been pissed on, and they did it for the second year in a row, not winning the Big Ten championship. But you don't think that Ryan Day got these boys ready? What?
Wow.
They got these boys ready. And trust me, this has been a hell of a week. He probably gave them he probably hit them hard, Val, like the last 3 days. And then he's going to give them this week off for Christmas, a couple of days. But by Saturday, as they say, by Saturday, They back on that field, ready to play. We're going to get on that bird by Monday or Tuesday and ready to fly out of here. And I got the Ohio State Buckeyes playing Georgia. So my Final Four is Oregon Ducks playing Indiana Hoosiers, Big Ten on Big Ten. SEC, Georgia playing Ohio State. That is your Final Four. Promotional purposes only. Go put some paper on that. Look good. And then we'll wait to the end of the year to give you who we think going to move on to the national championship. So you got the Rose Bowl where Indiana will be at. You got the All-State Sugar Bowl. Then you got the Fiesta Bowl. Fiesta. You got the Chick-fil-A Bowl and the Peach Bowl in Miami. So I'm looking forward to that, Val.
Yeah, so this is going to be an exciting time for all of you college football fans. And so
Gary, you out there looking what you got. I ain't heard from you. What you got? Who you think gonna make the Final Four? And for those that are listening tonight, for promotional purposes only, if you could just drop me in the tagline so Val can put it up. Give me your Final Four picks and who you got Final Four. I don't need the championship. Just give me your Final Four teams who gonna match up out of which one. That'll be great.
All right. So based on that, and we can always circle back to that conversation as we get ready to go into halftime. But Coach, I'm so grateful that you let me know. And literally, ladies and gentlemen, Coach behind the scenes has been breaking things down for me, so things will be forever broke where I understand and can discuss the picks. So I'm just excited to know about all the Rose Bowls. Ooh.
But don't let Val throw it on me. I am very proud of Val because you guys don't understand how she's made a hell of a change. It's like a surfer that couldn't surf, scared of a big wave. And I just say, go out there and get on the wave. That's the only way you're going to learn how to ride it. And for her to come back, we talk sometimes and she'll say, Coach, you ain't gonna believe I watched the football this week. I'm like, what? And so that's without me asking a lot of time. And Jill said, I learn something every Monday. That's what's up, G. I'm here to teach the kid. Coach Tony love the kids. So we got to give you as they say, Val, you got to give them what they want, got to give them what they need. That's what we do.
And I'm going to get into after the break why I am wearing my colors, my orange. I am so proud because I watched the game on Saturday. I saw it. It was Ripley's, believe it or not.
Man, and on that note, believe that these bills are still coming up in here and I'm about to pay somebody. So get these dudes out this office so we can move on. Let's pay these bills. We'll be right back on the other side of the third quarter. This is the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, and my sidekick. As you can see, I'm already pointing at her, Val the Voice Johnson. We'll be right back.
Tony, what would you like to ask Terrence?
Listening to that trailer, man, it was so cool. When you got a chance to get involved, what were your past experiences?
I haven't necessarily done narration and voiceover, but I am a songwriter and performer. I've done that for a while. And with this project, one, I'm not seasoned enough to know what high 8 tapes are. So I'm just pulling off my experiences with elder people in my life and their stories and try to connect that bridge. So I just tried to do that the best that I could. And I'm happy with how it came about. I'm excited for people to start seeing it and seeing how over these many years it's come full circle, as John said.
Terrence hits on a great point. The spirit of the film is based on the spirit of the music and the times of the 90s. That was important that came across because that was a different frequency of music, back then. Well, it was an exciting, challenging time where you felt the birth of a new musical movement was happening.
Ultimately, we actually shot in 13 different locations and had a cast of over 60 people. And then we had this tape, this project that was still in search of an ending. And for 30 years, I've lied and carried this on my resume as a film that I completed, but nobody ever asked me for it. But I'm just grateful for the fact that, I'm grateful for the fact that Wendell found these and just wrote such a brilliant narration that really pulled everything together and brought it to some peace after all these years of this unfinished project.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony. As we talking and again switching hats, Gary, going to make sure we acknowledge what you said because I did ask you that question. Gary got Bama. What? Hey, for promotional purpose, Gary said, man, Alabama knocks off. Oof. He got Bama. Okay. I like. You don't think Indiana can get the job done, and but they're gonna show you like Big Daddy Kane said, I get the job done. I work, baby. Oregon gonna move on Georgia. So he got 2 SEC, 2 Big Ten, and I actually like that ticket, Gary. I actually like that ticket. And,
why? Why do you like that ticket?
Well, because people are always talking about money, right? They always talk about, oh man, they're not gonna let it do this unless it's money. If Oregon and Indiana and Ohio State, you're talking about 3 teams from the Big Ten. Money-wise, that'd be great. Viewership-wise, probably not great because Georgia will end up having to play Ohio State on the bottom. So it would ensure a Big Ten national championship, which is what I still have. But the problem would be that you will lose probably majority of all the SEC fans because they sore losers anyway sometimes. And you would lose a lot of them because they're not going to probably watch a Big Ten on Big Ten Now championship game. But if you got, if we got a Alabama playing Ohio State, which is a great game, or even a Georgia who may upset Ohio State to play at Oregon or Indiana, then that's a great game. Then the SEC is going to lock in, the Big Ten lock in. Now you got trash talking who got the best conference. But at the same time, Val, what do I always tell you about where the money is at? And look at Gary's pick. That's where the money at. He only has 2 conferences, the SEC and Big Ten. And that's where the money's at.
And he's like, you can never count Alabama out every year.
No, you can't. Even with or without Nick Saban, you can't count them out. And they're there. And again, as much as people hated them, Gary, they still dropped 34 points in the second half to show you that we still here, And speaking of still here, our beloved Chi-Town Bears. Now, they are here. We're going to talk a little NFL. Now, on this road that we got with the Bears right now, this was a hell of a game against the Packers. Now, Val, they've already met a couple of times this year already.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I had to tell my bestie.
And both games have been epic.
Yeah, I told my best friend, I told my bestie, my childhood bestie, she is a fanatic Bears fan. And when I say fanatic, she will cut you if you talk bad about her Bears.
Delarice, now I got to cut you.
Yeah, now I got to cut you. So the funny thing is, because I saw the game 2 weeks ago between the Packers and the Bears, and when they were playing there in Lombardi Stadium there up in Wisconsin,
and Green Bay got past us 28-21 and the big victory, and it went down to the wire.
It went down, it went down to the wire, and I was really pulling for them to win, and it just I kind of did a little research and found out that this rivalry between the Packers and the Bears is the longest rivalry in the NFL.
The oldest.
One of the oldest. Did not realize that.
And we're the Bears is one of the only, I want to say it may be the only one, Val. I think we may be the only NFL team that's still playing in this original stadium. And the Packers, all they did, the Green Bay Packers, and they rebuilt onto the Lambeau Field and gave it a facelift, kind of what they did. But Lambeau Field and the Soldier Field are still the 2 original fields, period, in the NFL for all the NFL teams. Yeah,
and I think that's the reason why many of us that are here in Chicago and Chicagoans in general, because I don't know how many different places you'll jump around in Tennessee. You're still you from Chicago, baby. Chicago.
Oh, yeah, you ain't got to tell me. My players should tell. I'm always repping the shot. I
exactly.
I love the Chiefs.
And here's the thing. There has been that talk of moving Soldier Field out to Arlington Heights and other places, and I'm just thinking, no. I think
I just heard of a new
lakefront where it is.
I just heard of a new location that they're now talking about possibly moving south to like Northwest
Indiana.
Heard like Southern Illinois, Northwest Indiana, like on the southeast suburb. So I don't know. I just hope they just leave the damn stadium on where it's at downtown. And we good with it, And speaking of good with it, Caleb Williams continued to shine. I mean, this cat is already over 1,000 passes in 2 seasons. Josh Jacobs put that game up in Green Bay and they won. And then, of course, this time, Caleb was poised in the pocket, but lucky we got a beautiful stop because the Bears lost a flip. Remember, and the Green Bay took it over. Yeah. Penalty hurt Green Bay. Then we got the ball back, and then we scored. So the different people. Somebody was asking me, why is the NFL so different than the college? Because in college, everybody gets a turn, and you keep going back and forth. NFL is not like that. You get a turn unless you score. So that if you come down on your first drive, Val, and you score a touchdown, but if you score a field goal, I still get a chance. But if you score a touchdown, the ball game is over. But if you score a field goal or a turnover, then it's my ball. If I score field goal or touchdown, ball game's over because I'm the second person to touch the ball. So that's the big difference between college and the pros. And Jordan Love, unfortunately, he got hurt, and that made another factor because Jordan Love got hurt in that game, and so he had a slight concussion. He'll be back. And the only thing that I hate is that right now the Packers are the 7 seeds. So we look at the schedule. The Bears got San Fran, which San Fran's playing tonight, and they're winning against the Colts. And if they win, it's out. The Bears go to San Fran next week, and then we finish with Detroit Lions last week of the year with the Packers and Lions coming up. So it's going to be, different. Gary's, I know it was a clean hit. It was a clean hit. He just got it.
It was, yeah.
He saw some.
I just, and I just feel like there were so many moments of, because we're now in week 16 with everything that's happening, and I think when the Packers were literally holding us to just field goals. And we did not score a touchdown until the fourth quarter. I saw that, and I'm like, "Okay, what's going on?" And no matter, and it was windy, it was cold. Like we do very well in windy, cold weather because the Windy City, we are the Bears. We can take the win.
But see, this goes back to what you were just talking about in college, Val. This is why I'm trying to tell you the low scoring, grinded out. That's me. I love it because it shows that's the defense. And the Sands will never stop. Defense wins championship game unless there's a better offense. And you got to talk to somebody like Steph Curry for that. But when you're looking at that, so now looking at this overall picture, if you got the NFL picture that we can talk about, we're going to put the playoff picture, AFC, NFC up real quick. Now, here's how we're grinding this thing out. In the AFC side of the house, to me, on this picture, keep that picture right there. Okay. You're looking at a couple of things here. You've got Denver, which will get a bye. Seattle will get that bye because they're both the number 1 seeds, AFC, NFC. Now, I like Denver, but I told you guys 2 weeks ago, my sleeper team in the AFC is, as long as Josh Allen's got a ball and Buffalo is playing, I love what the Bills got because they've been there, they've been close, and I think the number 1 foe to Denver will be the Buffalo Bills on the AFC side. So stay on the AFC side to your left. Who do you like over there?
Okay, the AFC, and I'm gonna go and take a look. I've been liking how the Houston Texans have been handling themselves.
Ooh, you want a big long shot for promotional purposes only.
Purposes only, exactly. And my
Lisa checking in. What's up, girl?
Yeah, she said, hey, there you go. Hey, what's up, Lisa? Represent North Central in the building. I saw the game between Pittsburgh and the Detroit Lions yesterday, and so
that's a good game. That was a great game. It came down to the East as well. Again,
exactly.
That NFC North, Val, is how they play. And I see my girl Lainey said, Amy's my other ball player. What's up, Amy? Hey, y'all
Mhm.
working your jumper so you can get this nigga half of this season, Amy. You better be knocking down some threes for me. I ain't playing. And Gary said he like Jacksonville. You know, he like Sunshine.
Jacksonville. Okay. All right.
Sunshine played for Jacksonville, and that dude, hey, man, let me tell you something.
Mhm.
Jacksonville, to me, Gary, you say Jacksonville, and I like that. Here's the reason why. Because nobody's looking at Jacksonville. Absolutely nobody. Denver, yes. Buffalo, you got to watch. Houston, but I'm going to take Val's situation because she's pulling a long shot. But to me, besides Buffalo, the team that nobody's looking at over here is Mike Vrabel, our old Tennessee Titans coach, and none other than the New England Patriots. I'm telling you right now, the way they played yesterday, and they got an Alabama quarterback, and they're starting to play some ball, you better watch out. So I got Buffalo and New England as one of the two coming out of the AFC.
Okay.
And Lisa says she liked the coach because they have a 44-year-old quarterback. That's right, 45, girl, with 10 kids, 4 grandkids, and a brand new insurance policy.
Okay.
And Philip Rivers. Did you know that, Val?
I did not know that. It would be a Cinderella story. We like the Colts. Actually, they're playing right now. The Colts are playing right now. What is the score? Let me see.
They're playing my nephew. They're playing San Fran right now. You know, they getting beat up on last time I checked.
Oh, they are? Okay, yeah. I'm gonna give you the live score here. But yeah, Coach, I think we're trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Let me see the live score right now. We're at halftime. San Francisco is at 24 and Indiana Colts is at 17.
So speaking of that, 24-17, we're going to be right back. We're going to bring the fourth quarter and finish up this playoff picture. We'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, and my side roadie right there, Val the Voice Johnson. We'll be right back. Pay these last bill, Val. We'll be right back on the show.
All right, you got it. Woo, 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 woo.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bow.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the Key Spot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAP. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. KeySpot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. KeySpot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show. Coming into the fourth quarter while we give you quarter by quarter sports information. Coach Justin checking in the house saying, what's up with the Pull Up Podcast, baby? Coach, what's going on, man? Need to know if the U going to beat the brakes off the Buckeye. Let me tell you this, Justin. Hell no. Get it too early. They the brakes beat off of them. Matter of fact, Justin, if they don't come to play Ohio State after they go get an oil change, they're going to probably be caught on the side of the road and need to get towed back to Miami.
Yeah, and you said he said a little bit earlier, Coach Justin, that the coach's pick is Ohio State against Miami. Ohio's been number one all season, so they're just going to keep going.
And they just gave it to Indiana, but we're going to get that back. And Lisa, you are exactly right. We were talking about NFL, and Justin, I want you to know about old man Rivers playing. And Lisa said he's holding his own. Matter of fact, let me tell you something, Lisa, how bad he's holding his own. Me and Justin was on the phone earlier. Rivers opened up the game tonight, Val. It was plus 370 to 0. That means that if you put your money on, you got 370 to 1 choice to win or 37 to 1. If you'd have put $100 on, for promotional purposes on Phillip Rivers and Indiana Colts scoring the first touchdown of the game, $100 a night would have bought you $3,700 back. That's how well the old man is doing. That would have been Merry Christmas.
$3,700
on $100 tonight because he got the ball. Indiana got it, and he marched them down the field, and they scored on the first drive.
Wow. Okay.
That's how well, you know. And by the way, Lisa, you know, I think he's gonna do these. Got to go home and set them damn kids on his knee and play Santa Claus.
Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus way.
And
she said, "Wow."
Exactly.
And we let you guys know before we came into the fourth
24-17. And here's what's so significant about this, guys. If San Fran win, they hold on. They host our beloved Bears next week in San Francisco. So that's going to be a telltale game because now is about jockeying for position, because once they lock the playoffs in, it's about jockeying for position now, whether the Bears hold on or they don't hold on. So they got to win. Bears got to show up next week in California to do what they got to do.
Yeah, and I'm looking at, I got to bring it up here.
Put that picture back up. Now, put that playoff picture back up. Get all that up out of there.
Because I had another picture that came up that literally talked about, that said who was eliminated, because I actually wanted to speak to a lot of the teams that were eliminated, but we're looking at the NFC and the AFC. Oh, you don't care about the people that was eliminated?
That's why they got eliminated.
Yeah, agrees with you. She's like, yep.
Yeah, we don't care about them being eliminated. So let's look at this picture. Let's break this down. So you got a couple things going on. You got Carolina, which nobody even imagined, because they're in our division, was going to make it. They're playing okay. I just don't think, and you talked about Val, who? Harbaugh. I don't think that they're going to win against LA. I think LA comes out the number 5 seed, and the Rams move forward with that one. I think go to the next picture. If this was the playoff picture, because I think this might change after next week, but if this is the playoff picture, I think Philadelphia slides by San Francisco. I think Jalen Hurts, he wakes up, plays. A.J. Brown gets on the same page with Saquon Barkley. I think we're okay. And I think we're looking at now San Francisco will now move on. I mean, Philly will move on, and the Rams will take on Seattle. The number 1 will play number 5. And then, of course, you go down at the bottom, and I think our beloved Bears hold on again in Soldier Field. Green Bay comes to Soldier Field, you know, in the first week of the playoffs, and I think now Bears and Philly. Now, the tough part about that is the Bears just beat Philly, so that's going to be a tough game. Now, go across the tracks.
And I have a quick question before you go on. And now the Bears play San Francisco next week. Now, if they lose to San Francisco, what will happen? Because we're number 1 in the NFC.
We're number 1. San Fran is number 3 right now, so they still getting in. The Bears would I don't think they would move, because at the end of the season you still got Green Bay and Detroit playing each other, so somebody's going to be eliminated there. I don't think that. I think the movement that you possibly could see would be Green Bay could move up to the 6th slot, and they will become the 6th slot, and they will play Philly, and then San Fran falls back to the 7th slot, and they end up playing the Bears. I don't think there's no other movement that's going to go unless the Bears win and Philly loses, and then the Bears move up to the 2nd slot, because we own the advantage because the Bears beat Philly a few weeks ago.
Okay. Yep. And here's the thing. I'm having you break this down for a lot of us.
Yep. Because this calendar is not finished. Now go to the right side when you talk to AFC. As you see right now, the Denver Broncos is the number 1 seed, and they got the chance to play against the LA Chargers, or they're going to play against Pittsburgh. I like how Pittsburgh's been playing. Aaron Rodgers, shit, he done woke up. He started to play. If they play like they did last night, I think that you'll have Pittsburgh Steelers move on, and you have Pittsburgh playing against Denver, and then you move down to that 2nd slot. And again, I just mentioned, I like sunshine, but as long as I got Josh Allen and you taking them down to Jacksonville, Florida to play, and warm weather. We would love to
Yeah.
have it in Buffalo, Val. You know we're going to get some snow and cold weather, but we'll go down to Jacksonville. I like Buffalo, the underdogs, to win that particular game. And then I know as much as you love Houston and them boys, I just don't think they can overcome beaten by New England. I think you get New England and Buffalo and Denver playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how the NFL works, Val, it works a little different than college. So if that's hypothetically, let's say Seattle and who did I say? Seattle and LA meet up. So Seattle knocks LA off. So they get an automatic bye to the Final Four. So you see that. And then if Denver happens to beat Pittsburgh, they get an automatic bye to the Final Four. But the Bears, San Fran, Philly, and Green Bay for the NFC would have to play each other in order to meet Seattle for the NFC Championship game. And the same thing for Buffalo and New England. They would have to play each other to meet Denver. So that's how the NFL works itself out.
Right. So I say we should just we're definitely just going to continue to pay attention and see who's going to be in playoff and go. And I think, like I said, I just want to flash it up here because I think I'm looking for it. Oh, good gracious! It was about the teams, and where is it? I just had it. It was right there. It disappeared. Okay. Oh, here it is. Here we go. I'm sitting up here trying to figure it out. Okay, there we go. So, Coach, a few folks, as of right now, we're in week 16 going into week 17. It's a full 18 weeks, and then we go into the playoffs, just to confirm. That's correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, wonderful. I'm glad you're not. And so all of those teams, logos, you playoffs race, and then there's a lot that are in the eliminated section, and it's a little hurtful to see this, but
Justin is on the air right now, and his boys is part of that eliminated, and that is the Ravens. So, and the Titans is up in there, but the Ravens is in there, and Kansas City, Val, has missed the playoff for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career. Is that not crazy?
It is, and I'm thinking this is. For Kansas City, I feel traumatized to see Kansas City down there. But then again, that means that everyone that's up there, a lot of people don't feel traumatized. But you see what people have been doing over the last 16 weeks, and if you don't get it together and fight for the wild card spot or fight for another NFC, AFC playoff spot, you
can forget
you'll end up on the eliminated lane.
Yeah, but you know what's bad about this? I will give a little sentimental value to the eliminated lane, and Justin, you'll like this, and Gary, I know you're listening too, is that injuries play a part.
Yeah,
and if you go look at this list, that B for the Bengals, Joe Burrows was hurt. The Cardinals guy was hurt. Washington Daniels is out. Hurt. Shador Sanders had to take all the shit he had to take to figure out, let these guys know he can play ball. So that's a whole nother ball game. Falcons had their guy hurt. Tennessee, we just had no damn help. Couldn't give Cam no help. Patrick Mahomes got hurt. So if you go back and look at this eliminated list, Val, there's like 5 or 6 teams in this eliminated list that if their star quarterback, wide receiver, defensive guy hadn't gotten hurt, you may be looking at a completely different picture. But you know the hard part about all that is?
What?
Injuries are what? A part of the game.
They're part of the game. And I have to say, Coach, yeah, and I have to say, with the game that I saw on Saturday, there were a lot of roughness that was happening. One of the players grabbed Williams' helmet, looked like he was trying to yank it off his head.
Like, man, come on. That's good. And Lisa, I apologize because I should have sent Val those pictures. Lisa went to the game, Val. She had
which one?
She went to the game Sunday, to the Packers game.
She was here in Chicago.
She had on 3 coats. She had on 3 coats, 3 pair of socks, 3 pair of drawers, a par tree, and a pear tree. She had all that on. what I'm saying?
Well, the weather in Chicago is nothing to play with. So you
No,
just
not
have
at
to
night
make sure
like
you have
that.
to
I
have
mean, yeah.
you gotta have like a physical hand warmer and feet warmers
What you
in and
say?
on
Hey,
your body.
hey, I'm gonna bring the heater with me and figure out how to plug it in the back of somebody's seat or something. You know how we do in the hood. We run a cord over top of the Soldiers Field, just run it, be like, what's that cord going to? Be down in the section.
Yeah, so
She said
I
she
think
froze her tail off. Exactly. With all the
what you
clothes.
say?
She said, I froze my tail off. Exactly. Because as Val
Yeah.
said, and I think the coldest I was in Soldier Field, me and Mike Drew would tell you, we went to see the Bears and the Broncos play in like 12, about 10 or 12 inches of snow and about, like 17 degrees. We started a snowball fight, got kicked out, but it was fun.
Oh no. Yeah, but I here's my thing. I don't want anyone trying to take Soldier Field out of Chicago proper, because I argue with people all the time. You fly into O'Hare, technically you are not
in the city.
Chicago. You are not in the city.
Trying to tell me I'm from the city. I'm like, where you from? They be like, man, go on. If I had my homeboy, we would roast you. But I'm gonna just let you chill. Your suburb do touch the city, but your ass ain't in the city if you way up there. Come on, man, don't play me. And Lisa said that touchdown that was scored was right in front of her. Man, and I'm telling you, Val, at least and I promise you next week, when we come back, I'll get you up on there. We're gonna take a hiatus for the holidays. But Lisa had some great pictures right outside the end zone. She was right there, Val. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm grabbing a photo right now. I've got to do that. I've got to take an opportunity.
Right. I get you, Lisa.
What she say? Had a heated jacket.
Walt had a heated jacket. Yeah, he was cheating. That sounds like Walt. If I talk to him, I know what he's gonna say. Shit, Tony, you know me, I ain't gonna be.
Oh my goodness! They scored that game-winning touchdown in front of us.
We got to give our was that? Yeah, she said the touchdown was right in front of him, Val, and she said Walt had all his jackets on. He was doing. I don't blame Walt. At least you should have took a blanket. You knew better.
Well, I don't know. You trying to be cute or whatever, but I'm just saying. Look at this scene here in Chicago. And you got the skyline behind that. If we move and put this in Arlington Heights or Northwest Indiana, you can't see.
But you ain't got to worry about it, Val. You know why? Because if they go up there, you're not going to be able to see outside. It's going to be a new stadium. It's going to be enclosed. You're not going to have to worry about Chicago skyline because and that's what makes Soldier Field and Lambeau Field so unique, because in Lambeau Field, you're downtown Green Bay, you're seeing that offside the suburb. Here you're seeing right off the lakefront. You can't turn Soldier Field into a freaking museum. I hope the city wakes up and realizes that.
No, and I understand that it's cold, and I understand that,
that's what makes it unique. If you're going to win a game and you're going to come to Soldier Field, bring your ass to the city and play in the elements, right? That's what the dudes back in the day did. Now we're damn near giving these players nowadays just kind of like we're doing the college kids. If that's what y'all want, let's give them to what they want. Man, I love the outdoor stadium. I still love Baltimore. I still love Tennessee, even though we're about to get a new stadium. I'm glad they play outside. It's raining down in Jacksonville, down in Carolina. You got to run in the mud. You don't get a beautiful, you come to a game every Sunday and it's beautiful inside. No, play with the elements. That's why you became a professional player, to play with the elements.
Exactly. And grow and make. And wait 1 second before you speak of an element. Let's do this.
Bam.
Lisa agrees with you.
Speaking of elements, hey man, welcome to North Central. They got again showing up for the Stag Bowl and looking for 6 out of the last 7 years to show up in the national championship game and with an opportunity to repeat, man. And Coach Spencer's been doing some things. Shout out to my boy Kyler Green, my kid I put up on the yard. Shout out to Javante, put up on the yard. Got 2 kids on that squad that's playing right now. Proud of them. Talked to moms this week. They're going to probably go up for the game. So, man, y'all punch another ticket. Get yourself a sack and ring going in that Hall of Fame down there.
Congratulations to our North Central College Cardinals. And like I said, I was telling this to Coach. I said, really cool if they moved up a division. You know,
Yeah, they move deep through. That'd be
good.
awesome. Do something because right now, after this year, if they do, they may try to seek it and see what's going on because track and field been killing for like 40 years, and now football's in the fold, and basketball just came off national top rank. So I think they can compete, and they'll be in the NCAA side and be able to offer scholarships at that point with the NIL deal. So that's good.
Yeah, and since we're going to go right into overtime, I just wanted to touch base and find out a little bit more of what's been happening with Mr. Moore, who is no longer a coach with the University of Michigan. So, Coach, what some interesting updates that you have on his situation and what's been happening?
Well, right now, just it's been crazy because he's still waiting on his court appearance and all that to come up and everything. And it's just unfortunate that we talked before, Val, just being in a situation that the young man hopefully gets an opportunity to come back and coach again. I know there's been a lot of words that he was set up. I was on the phone, talked to a guy today, thinks he was set up and this and that. And I get it. And I understand that you feel that way and whatnot. You just got to make a valid point to me. But I would agree with you if you say he was set up and this was a situation that was maybe 30 days over, even under 6 months. But when this thing is 3 years, right? When you're dealing with somebody for 3 years behind the scenes on this and that, there ain't no setup. That is intentional at that particular point. Unfortunately, that I think the setup was Michigan knew about it, as we talked about, and Michigan threw him under the bus. That to me it's my personal opinion that Michigan threw him under the bus to save face because the school is not going to take the out. And the reason why I say that, because I read a report that they already had a new coach in play 2 or 3 days before they fired him. So they knew what was going on. They signed their top recruit and went and got a coach. Then they did their just due diligence, and then they let him go. So I think that's the unfortunate, but somebody's got to fall on the axe, right?
Yeah. And I think according now to ABC News, and I'm checking this out here, more details are coming out about his arrest, and he's been charged with home invasion and stalking, and then allegations that he had a long history of domestic violence, alleged the victim. And I had no thing about this. And then of course the unnamed woman, but it's in some reports it's come out, she was also she timeline to the police in Pittsville Township about everything that had been happening.
He's actually on the phone with her lawyer when he broke in the house. The lawyer, the one who told her to run, and then she went upstairs and locked herself in and called the police. And he left out after cutting his hand, and whatnot. And the police pulls him over for speeding, and then said, "Oh, by the way, who are you looking for? We happen to have him right." So how ironic is that? You get pulled over for speeding, but then they lock you up because your name comes across APB. And the unfortunate piece about it is what you just mentioned again, is if this domestic thing comes out that he was domestically abusing his wife, and all it's going to do is make it worse because it's saying that you abused your wife behind the scene, then she didn't even know you had this affair going on, and then you went over and abused the girlfriend. So it shows that, to me, again, I'm not knocking anybody on what they do, but what did I say last week? Is it mental illness or is it stupidity? Because I think a lot of these people around the country, and I'm not saying Coach Moore for no reason whatsoever, because I don't know any facts, just simply speculation and and whatnot. But I don't know anybody, that you're looking around the country that some of these mental situations, mental illness situations, that are people that really need help, really need support, and really could call the national hotlines to get help. And then you see these copycats that want to do the same thing because they want to make a name of themselves. That's all that makes me mad and pisses me off. If you're really sick and you need help, get it. Go get the help. Go let somebody help you out. Don't go out here and do something and be dumb as hell, and you're going to get your ass caught, and then you're going to say, "Oh, man, I was mentally hurt and sick." No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. Go ahead, Val. Okay, I think we may have lost Val. I thought we had her. I thought she's been.
Here's the thing.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
there she go.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. You can hear me now? Okay. There's something funky happening with things right now, but I wanted to, and you can hear me pretty steadily right now, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. Yeah. So here's my thing. I believe we wanted to make sure that we kind of wrapped up our conversation about Moore, because it seems as though Jim Harbaugh, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, me and you, Coach, about kind of the scandals that have been flying around the University of Michigan and their coaching team. And I don't know who do you think they're going to pick to replace Moore? And do you think Moore, either on the offensive coach or other sides, are there going to be more people that's going to quit the football program?
I think that it's a smoking gun. I still think a few people are going to fall, but I think the few people that before they fall, I think they're already leaving. I think they're already looking for jobs. The season is over for Michigan, so these coaches have the right. I think what you're going to see more than anything is going to be the program hurt. You're going to see a mass exit of players. Forget the staff. I don't give a damn who come in and coach. If you don't have good players, you can't win. I mean, I can bring in the best coach in the world, but if you don't have the kids that can play, then you're going to get. And I think that you're going to see Michigan take a step back. I think they're going to probably not be a top-notch program in the Big Ten next year. I think they finish 4th or 5th at best next year till they get their act back together, and they're gonna take a fall back. And unfortunately, he becomes the fall guy. And in Michigan, the university walks away clean because of the way they did the situation. I don't know who's going to be the new coach yet. I know they named him interim coach and Paggy to step up and work. So I don't know. They've talked about a couple of names, DeBoer at University of Alabama, but they just talked the other day. He got a $10.8 million contract per year at Alabama. I don't know if he gives that up, but that's double the amount of money that Sherrone Williams was making right at 5.5. So, do they reach out to an NFL coach? Do they reach out to some NFL coordinators? I don't know. But I know whoever they take from Michigan next, it's got to be well thought out. And it's got to be a situation that you can put the fire out, go recruit, and get this program back to what Michigan is used to doing. That's winning.
And Lisa says it's so unfortunate that the kids will pay for Moore's mistake ultimately because,
correct, yeah. We're talking about, Lisa, we're talking about NIL money these days, right? It's not like it's back when we played. It's not like when you was running around the track back in the day. It ain't like that. You just get up, sit out a year, and go transfer. Now some of these kids are making $6-7 million, $4 or $5 million. Even some of the kids who don't get playing time are making $50,000, $100,000. And everybody gets hurt. And again, this is why I'm such a proponent. Pay these damn kids. All these coaches do all this stuff and they make these mistakes. They get up and they leave. They transfer. They go to other places and all that. And I get it because I'm in that side of the house. And if I had an opportunity that a big contract was put in front of my face versus where I'm at right now, I'm not saying I'll leave, but I got to seriously consider it. I got to sit down with my family and sit down with people that are close to me and get their opinion and say, hey, Tony, here's how much money is on the table. Can you afford to leave it on the table? Or can you afford to stay where you're at? And I got to look at that. And that's what these coaches are doing. So why keep penalizing these kids? You know what I'm saying, Val? If you're going to pay these kids because they're talents, pay them because the coaches are benefiting. For a perfect example, Indiana went 12-0. I got Coach Cinetti. Okay. He's great. Coach of the year. Mendoza, player of the year. But Cinetti is not the coach he's got if he doesn't have those players.
Okay.
If Indiana doesn't have those players where they got right now, they're not number one in the nation. Mendoza gets hurt. Who knows? Can they continue to win? I don't know. But that's what goes on. So again, and when you're in a situation what just happened at Michigan, the problem at Michigan's situation is, Val, if they would have never been in a past issue or situation, people would feel sorry. But within the last 3 to 5 years, you got a cheating scandal, you got a signal stealing scandal, you got a recruiting scandal, you got a coach that goes to the NFL, and now you got this. So when people look at the University of Michigan, all they see is the last few years, there's been problems and issues. And I think that's the problem that you're going to see that's going to be very difficult to get around, and to try to get a coach in there that you can really pay a lot of money to go clean that up.
Yeah. And I think a lot of sports commentators have been saying they probably just need to clean house because they want to get away from the stain of the Jim Harbaugh, effect. Because I'm assuming that's what it's kind of the domino of what happened with Moore. But I'm really sad to hear.
You got to pay this young lady to keep her quiet somehow.
Exactly.
You got to put an NDA out there, ask her what she wants, and she won't be able to discuss what she got from the situation. Put an NDA out there, and she got to be hush-hush. The problem again.
And then you have, unfortunately, we're coming up on the holiday season, and so I'm thinking about his wife and his kids. Like there's a complete fallout that's happening, kind of the domino effect.
Nice Christmas there.
Yeah, and Lisa's like, it's a lot of drama. We agree 110%. There's a lot of drama with that, but I don't know. I'm going to be keeping my eye on how they revamp the University of Michigan's football program and see who they bring on, see who they let go, see who leaves, and see if they can kind of a season or a year or two to kind of, clean things up, because they are a top tier team.
I believe they get the. Let me. This would be far fetched.
Okay.
But Bill Belichick is struggling in North Carolina.
All right.
Sources are that they want him out. Sources say that. I don't know if North Carolina lets Bill Belichick go. But with Michael Jordan behind that program, the money that Bill Belichick paying is pennies. Michael Jordan can pay that off and get him out. If Michigan could get a Bill Belichick type coach, that would be awesome. He's used to the cold weather, very disciplined. Stuff he had to, with his little 29-year-old girlfriend, he can get past all that situation. But whoever they bring in is going to have to be a high disciplinary coach and a no-nonsense coach. And one of those type of coaches that going to walk thickly by the book, but going to turn the program around. And who knows? They may even go out and get a Coach Val that's a big-time Division II coach, or like Coach Brad Spencer at North Central, who's been on a tear for the last 6 years. I think North Central better hope he wants to stay at home, because I think he's on the move. But like a DeBoer came out of, a D2, and he's won a national championship with at the D2 level multiple times before Alabama came and got him. So I think you maybe go out and get a coach that nobody knows of, but who's winning at a smaller level, who really doesn't understand the big picture of where you at, and who just wants to simply come in and coach, and then put a staff together to clean up everything else. And if you can just let the man come in and do that, I think that'd be all right.
And Lisa agrees with you. She's like, now you're talking.
Lisa, I'm going to tell you what like a TI is.
Mm-hmm. And NCC would be awesome at any level. And I agree. We're biased because we're from North Central.
Yeah, I know you talked about that, and I'd like to see them step up. But again, I don't think, I think they can move up one level to D2. That'd be great. And I think they'll have to go their proven ground. But I think they're on the right path. They're getting a lot of kids. The campus is getting bigger. It's getting beautiful. And I think they're continuing growing and doing some major things. So it's going to be real good.
And just to give you guys a heads up, I think we're getting toward we're somewhere in the third quarter, and San Francisco is at 31, and Indiana.
17. Hey, if they don't put another score up there, you're going to be like a Christmas present. Wrap it up.
And just to confirm, Coach, because this is me continuing to learn more and more, every week starts for NFL on Thursdays. Is that correct?
No, every week in the NFL starts on Sunday, but you do have an occasional game that is Thursday. Okay, you do have a Thursday game. And the hard part about the Thursday games are if you have a Thursday game, that's basically your bye for Sunday. You don't play Thursday and Sunday. They don't do that in the NFL. So like the Bears played Green Bay Thursday, they won't play this Sunday. I mean, they'll play this Sunday, but their game was Saturday, so it's a Saturday-Sunday game. But if they had played Green Bay, say this Thursday coming up, then they wouldn't play San Francisco next Sunday because it'd be too quick for their bodies.
There you go. There you go. Oh my gosh.
Man,
Coach,
thank you for checking in.
Doing what we do, and this is technically our last live show for the year, but we are going to be I'm going to be putting together a best of for next week for the podcast show. So we'll be here next week, but we'll be here in spirit, showing you some of our favorite shows. But
y'all gonna get on here and laugh and joke around because this 2026 is going to be off the chart. At least make sure everybody in the group. I continue, and Lisa, you guys have been great. I mean, it's been awesome just to see my classmates. And I send the information. You guys come out and support. I love you to death. You know that. And but I'm about to, I'm gonna put a message out right now. So if you know anybody, you got a cousin, a nephew, a niece, a friend, family member that knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Starting in 2026, I will be starting the HBCU. I will be looking each month for a kid that is played or is playing at an HBCU university so we can highlight them, because I just don't think that our kids at those HBCUs are getting their just due. And I've got a kid already up on the block that we got coming in. He's got a hell of a story that we're going to bring it in. So January is going to kick off very great, and just keep tuned in to the Pull Up Podcast. So we're going to keep hitting you with quarter by quarter sports info, and we're going to keep bringing you quarter by quarter of good people to listen to.
Of course, and of course, we want to hear all about the rise in IL. Lisa, thank you so much for saying that, how much you've enjoyed the podcast. I love that you're doing this. She's proud of you.
Classmate doing the thing. Hey, the rise. We're about to go to the next level, Val. So again, if you got an athlete, not somebody to just play. I need an athlete who that's got the potential to get the next level. The Rise NIL, I just merged with a company, Out to Win. Big shout outs to my guys over at Out to Win. And they're going to be helping me bring in additional athletes and brands to the brand. So if you are an athlete that's looking to unlearn, to learn how to unleash your potential, whether it be in track and field, basketball, baseball, football, whatever it is, make sure you come and talk to us so we can help you do that. And if you can do it in the right way, we put you on the right track, then you're going to be able to maximize your potential and your money. We're going to be able to bring them dollar bills, Val, so they can get paid, which is what we talk about. Maximize all your earnings. Deion Sanders put it great. He put it best a few months ago, Val. Me and you were talking about that, and I use that as my motto. Go to college, young men and women. If you are an athlete, go to college to become rich. And if you think you're that good, go to the pros to become famous. I love that, because these kids have no reason to rush college, because now you can sit in college for 4 years, get your degree, and get paid, Val. And if I don't go to the pros, if I do it right, I can come out of college a millionaire.
I love that. Oh,
we be giving these kids information out here, man. What are you talking about? I'm helping and Coach Tony love the kids. I'm trying to help them out.
And I'm glad you're trying to help them out too.
And at least you already got you. So we're going to talk offline. You hit me up. I got it locked down so I can get assigned to me. We're going to make that happen. I've already got a young lady that's running track and field here at Vanderbilt University. And Gia's on. She know my big shout out to my trainer, Frank Vickers, here in Nashville. He always with the track. His daughter ran at University of Tennessee. And Val, I got her coming out on my podcast. And she just launched her own podcast. And she's a Division I track star and she got some people that she deal with who are Olympians. So when I get her on that show, Lisa, you got to be on that night. They're going to have all the track and field people on that show that night.
Hey, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. I love that. The connections keep coming and they keep showing up. Of course, A DJ Saved My Life. It is the personal memoir of how becoming a podcast and a virtual DJ over the pandemic saved my life. And support the podcast and learn about podcasting as I also give the ABCs of starting your own podcast. I did a webinar this past weekend, Coach.
I remember. How did that go?
Yes, I'm really excited about that. So, of course, you can scan to order the print book. If you decide to order it tonight, you know what? It'll come after Christmas, though. But I'm excited that you guys, I still got some copies left. We'd love for you all, because this is how we support our platform here with what we got going on here. And also on tomorrow, we are back live again. We're going to be Talk on Tuesdays. Did you see the new Netflix Dave Chappelle comedy special? Did you see it yet?
Chappelle, my boy, if anybody talk crazy, I know I do, but he talk crazy. I love it.
Yeah, and I did not know that he was going to be releasing this upcoming Chappelle situation. And I have to say, he does something where he talks about everybody.
Oh, everybody. I don't mean that's not what it is.
Say everybody. I mean everybody.
Everybody. Right.
That's
everybody. And Lisa said,
I tried to order it, but I couldn't, Val. We'll try to correct that. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get that corrected. And we got to get you one of them pull-up podcast shirts too as well, Lisa.
Oh, yeah. The merch is on sale this week for Christmas. So I want to make sure that you guys get a chance to do so. I will go ahead and check the things out on the website and make sure that everything is cool. But before I go, because we got some folks in the building from the NCC. This was so cool to have. I'm just putting it up here and I'm getting ready to share it. So that was one of our favorite shows, I think, from earlier this year. Coach, remember?
Oh yeah. That was a show there. That was cool, man. That was a hell of a weekend, boy. Woo. It took me about 3 days to recover. I got back.
Yeah, we had a blast. So
I love my boy. Carl Brooks kicked it with us the whole weekend, man. That was and Lisa tell Walt, the next time I come home, I don't want no excuses. Get out with your boy. I don't care. We go to dinner, whatever it is. Get at me.
That is what's happening. But of course, catch us on next week. We got the best stuff happening. And then, of course, we're back live the week after the new year. And of course, Coach Tony and I are going to be chatting it up. A lot of the predictions.
Yep. Hey, for promotional purposes.
Promotional purposes only.
You heard me. That's what they say. You heard me. Hey, listen. And Lainey, thank you. Lainey said she played ball for me. I'm the coolest coach. You already know I'm the coolest coach. Come on, girl. You already know that. But listen, we get to this time. I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and a safe Kwanzaa and everything else you can do. Please make sure you guys travel safely. God bless you. God keep you. We at the Pull Up Podcast Show appreciate each and every one of you guys for your time, your patience, and everything you do for us here throughout the whole entire year. And me and Val Divorce will be back as the calendar turns over to a new year in 2026. But in the meanwhile, peace.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Val's the voice and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. say it, Val's the poison. Coach Tony, you know, it's the Pull Up Podcast. So, it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, Kev is the engineer. Val is the one you hear. Hey, Coach Tony got the sports show. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So I said Kev is the engineer. Val is the one you hear. Hey, Coach Tony got the sports show. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up.
Man, good ass show tonight. My players is on Laney. I like Laney.